Guys on the roof, hauling up a bucket of wet concrete, just trying to finish the job. Ropes holding, mix is heavy, and then crack, the whole roof gives way. He drops straight through, bucket and all, like gravity just clocked in early. Moral of the story, boys, check your footing before you pour. A weak roof won't carry your ambition, or your concrete. Guys handling live wires barehanded, no gloves, no helmet, just pure confidence. Tries to fix something he shouldn't, and boom, a spark big enough to light up his regrets. He's lucky it's just a scare, not a stretcher moment. Moral of the story, boys, electricity don't forgive mistakes. Gear up, or get lit up. Quiet day at a roadside shop. Owner sitting back, scrolling his phone, not a worry in sight. Out front, a motorized rickshaw's parked. No brake, no chocks, just faith. Then it starts moving, slow at first, then rolling straight for him. Guy doesn't even look up before wham, it pins him and the chair both. He's lucky it was slow. Could have been a whole different headline. Moral of the story, boys, wheels don't wait for orders. Park smart, secure the brake, or you'll be the next roadside attraction. Warehouse is empty, quiet, just one guy, and a folded ladder that clearly doesn't want to cooperate. He's tugging, twisting, trying to stretch it out like it's made of concrete. After a minute of fighting, he finally gets it upright, gives it a little test shake, and figures, yeah, good enough. So up he goes, 1 step, 2 steps, halfway to glory. Ladder's wobbling like a drunk on payday. Cameras catching the whole thing front and center. Then it happens. Bottom slips out, balance gives, and boom, he rides that ladder straight down to the floor like a sack of wet cement. The sound alone could make your back hurt. For a second there's silence, then another worker rushes in from off screen looking like, man, what did you do now? Checks on him, he is okay. Moral of the story, boys, ladders ain't loyal. You don't secure the base, gravity's taken over. Always brace it, always check it, and never trust 4 wobbly legs to hold your weight and your pride at the same time. Excavators digging smooth, bucket swinging, everything looking normal, till you hear that hiss. Push, hydraulic hose snaps, oil sprays everywhere like a pressure cooker gone wrong. Then it hits the hot metal, whoosh, instant flames. The operator freezes for a split second, then climbs out fast, keeping his distance. The camera zooms in on the back of the excavator, and there it is, fire crawling up the rear, paint bubbling, smoke pouring out like a signal flare. The whole site just stops to watch it burn. Moral of the story, boys, 1 bad hose, 1 skip check, and your rig turns into a campfire. Routine inspections ain't optional. They're what keeps you from walking home watching your paycheck go up in smoke. It was supposed to be just another maintenance job. A Sun Metro bus up on a hydraulic lift at a facility near El Paso Airport. Routine stuff, nothing special. Guys checking systems, tools clinking, everything quiet, until it wasn't. Out of nowhere, that lift gives out, bam, bus drops hard, punctures a compressed natural gas cylinder underneath. You could feel the air change before it even hit, hissing gas pressure building. Then boom, whole place goes up in fire and smoke. Flames shooting through the roof, windows blowing out, alarms screaming. Workers are scrambling, covering their faces, trying to find exits through the haze. It's chaos, and right in the middle of it, that bus burns like a torch. By some miracle, nobody died. A few burns, some bruises, but they walked away from a blast that could have leveled the shop. Moral of the story, boys, routine is where people get lazy. Hydraulic lifts, gas tanks, pressure systems, check them twice, cause 1 loose seal, 1 crack, and you ain't just fixing a bus, you're fighting for your life. Dock job, just another day, guys, loading up a reach truck, easy work. But look close, no wheel chocks, nothing stopping that truck from rolling. He edges forward to line up, back tires barely hanging on the dock. Then crunch, the floor drops out from under him. Whole reach truck tips clean off the edge and disappears like a bad idea. Dust settles, metal creaks, and everyone's running over like they didn't just watch physics do its job. Moral of the story, boys, a $5 chalk beats a 50 grand forklift. Always secure your load, always block your wheels, cause once it starts rolling, you're just along for the fall. Forklift driver picks up a pallet that's barely held together. 1 lift, 1 tilt, and boom, the whole stack comes crashing down like a game of Jenga gone wrong. Boxes everywhere, pride nowhere. Moral of the story, boys, wrap it tight or sweep it twice. Loose loads make expensive messes. Crew's moving a wobbly load. Everyone sees it's bad, but they go for it anyway. Crash. Boxes down. Pride gone. And that look on her face? Yeah, she's done. Moral of the story, boys, if it looks wrong, it is wrong. Stop and think before gravity does it for you. Industrial yard guys starring up, watching something overhead, not paying attention to what's behind him. Then bam, a truck in reverse nails him hard, sends him straight to the ground. For a second, everyone thinks that's it, but somehow, he gets back up, shaken but breathing. Moral of the story, boys, eyes up, ears open, trucks don't care where you're looking. Warehouse humming along, guys moving sacks, checking lists. Just another day surrounded by towers of wheat. Everything looks solid, until it ain't. One stack starts to lean, slow at first, then boom, the whole thing caves in. Hundreds of sacks come crashing down, burying the floor and pinning a couple of workers before anyone can blink. Dust fills the air, shouts echo through the warehouse. It's chaos from a simple mistake. Moral of the story, boys, those stacks ain't decorations. If you don't secure them right, gravity'll do the rest. Stack smart, check twice, and never trust a pile taller than your paycheck. Busy workshop. Just another day, guys filling air into a heavy-duty truck tire. Nothing fancy, just part of the job. You can hear the hiss of pressure building, that low hum that says everything's working fine until it isn't. In a blink, boom, that tire blows like a cannon, and the force sends the worker flying back. Tools scatter, ears ringing, and what was a simple air-up turns into a full-blown emergency. He's lucky to be breathing. One wrong PSI, and that tire's got more punch than a wrecking ball. Moral of the story, boys, compressed air ain't a toy. Always use a gauge, stick to specs, and keep your distance. That's not just a tire, that's a pressure bomb waiting for someone to stop paying attention. Guys pulling a heavy load onto a truck tailgate. Too much weight, not enough sense. Bang, tailgate drops, load crashes, and he's lucky he ain't riding it down. Lesson, boys, that gate's got limits. Check 'em, or gravity'll teach ya. Crews laying a new roof when crack. The whole thing gives out beneath them. They drop straight through, boards snapping, dust flying. Other workers rush in, yelling, pulling them out. Moral of the story, boys, check your footing. Roofs don't warn before they fall. Sometimes the smallest job turns into the biggest mess. These two guys, just moving a toilet bowl, nothing fancy, but one bad tug, and suddenly the whole warehouse decides to come crashing down like a stack of cards. You can hear it, metal twisting, toilets dropping, everyone scrambling. 1 second you're moving porcelain, next you're part of the demolition crew. Always think before you lift, gravity's got no mercy. Forklift stretched way too high, grabbing a pallet that's stacked like a bad game of Jenga. One shift, boom, everything comes crashing down. Good thing the driver bailed early, cause that pile wasn't forgiving anybody today. Guy's feeling proud, checking his watch like he's clocking record time lifting those beer crates. But one tiny problem, that forklift spike ain't lined up. Next thing you know, beer's flying and confidence is spilling faster than the bottles. Now here's a sight you don't want to see on your shift. A massive crane trying to flex, hauling up another machine like it's lifting a lunchbox. Everything looks fine for a moment. Smooth cables, steady lift till the weight starts talking back. You can hear it, metal groaning, the whole frame shaking like it's begging for mercy. But once gravity decides to take charge, that's it. Game over. Next thing you know, the crane tips like a drunk on payday, and boom, thousands of pounds of steel come crashing down in a cloud of dust and regret. All that muscle, all that machinery, brought down by one bad call. Remember, boys, if the load's too heavy, don't prove it. Check it, balance it, or you'll be picking up more than just scrap. Guy's just walking down the aisle, minding his business, when the warehouse decides it's had enough. One shelf gives way. Boom, metal twisting, boxes crashing, chaos everywhere, and before he can blink, another shelf joins the party, coming down like a steel avalanche. All it takes is one weak link, boys. Check your racks, or you'll end up buried under your own inventory. Shipyards humming along till the big crane gives out. Boom, crashes down like thunder, taking cargo containers with it. Workers running for their lives, chaos everywhere. One bad bolt and the whole yard turns into a disaster zone. Two electricians on a routine day, checking wires, opening panels, not a care in the world. But here's the thing about electricity, it don't give warnings. One bad move, one loose line, and boom, an arc flash lights up the whole floor like a lightning strike indoors. Flames burst out, they start running for their lives. Helmets, gloves, nothing gonna save you when a box turns into a fireball. Then it spreads, wires poppin', insulation burnin', alarms screamin' like a siren from hell. The whole place turns into a panic zone. All this because someone skipped a lockout tagout or thought it'll just take a second. Electricity ain't forgiving, boys. Respect it, or it'll teach you the hard way. Late evening in a quiet workshop, just a few tools, a tired fan, and a line of old batteries humming against the wall. The kind of night where nothing seems wrong, until it is. A worker's bent over, checking voltage. Steady, routine, no rush. The air's still, heavy with that sharp acid smell. Then comes a sound you never want to hear, a faint hiss, pressure building where it shouldn't, and then pop, a flash, a cloud of smoke, and the whole shop swallowed in white mist. The worker stumbles back, lucky to be breathing. That's not a battery anymore, that's a bomb full of hydrogen gas, invisible and mean. That's why you never charge batteries on the floor, never without ventilation, and never without gear rated for the job. Hydrogen gas don't ask permission to explode, it just does. So next time you hook up a charger, remember, you're not just dealing with power, you're sitting on it. Treat it with respect, or it'll remind you the hard way. Inside this industrial yard, everything's fine until the crane gives up the ghost. 1 second it's lifting steel, the next it's folding like paper. That's what happens when maintenance gets skipped. Bolts loosen, cables fray, and gravity cashes the check. You don't inspect it, it'll inspect itself, real hard. Now this right here's what I call forkliftception. A big lift carrying a smaller lift carrying someone's brand new appliance. What could possibly go wrong, right? Couple feet up, one bad shake, and boom, that fancy new appliance just took the fast lane to Gravity Town. Boys, forklifts ain't Legos. Stacking them never ends well. Busy day down at the shipyard. Cranes swinging, trucks moving, everyone trying to keep the flow going. Then one operator tries to lift a cargo container off a truck, but he misses a latch. That box drops like a ton of bricks, slamming the ground and barely missing the truck parked right behind it. One slip, one bad hook, and you're inches away from turning a normal shift into a headline. Always double check your rig, boys. Steel don't forgive mistakes. Just another day in the warehouse. Two forklift drivers moving pallets, doing their thing. Everything's smooth till a third driver rolls in, maybe in a rush, maybe not paying full attention. We can't see exactly what he did, but you can feel it, that shift in the air when something's about to go bad. Next thing you know, he jumps out of his forklift and runs for it. Instincts kicking in just in time, but the other guy, he doesn't get the memo. Before he can react, the whole rack gives out. Steel, boxes, and chaos crashing down like an avalanche. 1 second of awareness saved one man, and 1 second of distraction nearly cost another his life. Always stay sharp, boys. In a warehouse, even a small mistake hits hard and heavy. Never work under a car that ain't locked and centered. This guy found out why the hard way. One push and that lift gives out like it's made of paper. His crew jumped in fast, got him out lucky. But luck ain't a safety plan, boys. Always double check your lift before it checks you. Guy parks his bike, walks off like it's just another day. Then here comes a truck, overloaded and pushing its luck. One hard break and that mountain of soil decides it's had enough. Trailer tips, dirt flies, and the whole load rolls right over that parked bike, crushed flat. That's what happens when you load heavy and think you can stop on a dime. Roadside job. Just another day digging trenches, laying pipe, everything looking steady. One worker's down in the ditch, focused on the line while the others move around up top. Nothing seems wrong till the ground starts whispering. A crack, a rumble, and in an instant the whole side gives way. The wall of dirt collapses like a wave, burying him before anyone can react. Tools hit the ground, the crew rushes over, shouting his name, but all you see is dust, dirt, and panic. That's the danger of trenches, boys. You think it's solid until it's not. Always shore it, slope it, or stay clear, cause when the earth moves you don't get a warning, just silence. Strong winds hit that high-rise crane and you can hear it groan before it gives out, bends like paper, then boom, straight to the ground. Mother Nature don't care how tough your steel is.